welcome to today's video. Is Misha Ashling, is Moonshore Gaelgame, agus inniu, Baimajig Lauert Fui, Kecht on Bob Bear, Gavilas a Kuigdag, Erin Don, Colscaradh. Here is a snapshot of the sample answer available to you on the StudyClick site. Feel free to have a look at it as we go along. Now let's dig into an gheist. Tá trí chuid leis an gheist seo. So let's dig into each of them and see what we need to do. Cuidehain asks us, Tá cudarsnocht idir gá hiiscint ifriúla a bósa sa Don Colscaradh híos. 15 marks. So what we need to talk about would be as follows. Our key terms in this question are cudarsnocht. Fair enough. We need to talk about contrast, and in our marking scheme, the examiner is looking for tágartí cruine. They are looking for accurate reference to the text. Given the poem is in front of you, this shouldn't be too hard. Cuide dó. Cade an mohucán is mo a bhusclíonn an dánseo on its féin. So, let's see what we need. Talking about personal response. On it féin. Our marking scheme tells us 1 mark for naming a feeling. Any feeling, name it, 1 mark. Puinse a 1 ólish gets you 4 marks. But be very careful. Gan tagart bit don bhuthúcán a bhusclíonn an dán san iarthóir marcáil an puinse ólas bhuthúcán as ceithre mark. So, if you don't mention a feeling, your attempt at this question will be marked out of 4. That mark out of 4 will also have an additional mark taken off it. So you will be penalised for not naming a feeling, similar to the way that you are being rewarded for naming a feeling. Make sure you do it. Then cuid a trí cé chum an dáin seo scríobh nóta gárid héal agus híthar an ille, our classic saol agus sihir question. So, key terms, saol agus sihir. Anam an ille gets us 1 mark according to the marking scheme, and then saol agus sihir an ille gets us the additional 6. Now, trí fuinse ólas ag tastal. You can either do 1 saol, 2 sihir, 2 saol, 1 sihir, whichever combo you prefer yourself, that's the way to go. Importantly, má bhíonn anam an ille mícheart bron nád an mír fad. So if you misspell or misname the poet, you are getting nothing, regardless of how good the rest of your answer is. So be very careful. This will not be on your papers. This is something you are going to have to learn off yourself. Now, digging into an ragra. Cuidehain, what I see immediately is a load of tágartí. Galore tágartí don takes sa ragra seo, which is lovely to see. Clearly this student understood that it's very important to back up any points you make or any claims you make with reference to the text. Great start. On sin, we've got cudarsnocht. This is a key term in the question, and as such, very relevant to us throughout, and important that this student added it in throughout. That'll help them stay focused. We've got interesting points. This point about miantun na maná dírathe rudí taobhann with den bhaile. That's a nice point and a nice way of phrasing that point. So, that's an interesting way to tackle this question. And it'll set your answer apart from the others in your examiner's bundle if you can come across an interesting angle to discuss your poem from. However, it is a little bit long, not a terrible thing, but also you want to make sure that your time is being spent wisely. There's only 15 marks and quite a lot written. So, exercise caution. Do not spend your time in places where it will not be rewarded. Try and be as efficient as you can. Cuide dó. Talking about our mohucán. Fragra loithruk an gheist. We see this person has chosen brón as an mohucán. Then they go onam féin. You've got that personal level. Excellent start. Nice phrasing in an love ella allfuck. Really nice, and one of those little phrases that you can pop into any answer on pretty much anything and it will still sound nice. It'll sound nice in your bail trail, it'll sound nice in your ashta, it'll sound nice in all sorts of places. So no harm in learning off a few of those so you can sprinkle them on your answers at your leisure. On sin, We have a lot of at-raw. These two sentences are literally repeating each other, and it's just a little bit needless, particularly when this question is worth so few marks. There is no need to write this much. As I said on the previous question, there's just no need when you're not going to be rewarded for your effort. Don't do it. Be brief, be concise, answer the question and get gone. Could you treat? We're looking at our Sail Agus Sihir. Anna Manila. Luckily for this student, they spelt it right, so they are eligible to receive all the marks given for this question. Sail Agus Sihir, both of which are mentioned here, which is cool. Also have little points of information about this man's life, and they've got the texts. And they've got titles of the texts, which shows they've really done the research and learned off titles of works by the poet, which is really cool. Now, there's a little bit of a lack of facts in that. There's a little bit of statements that aren't backed up, saying Ta'an Simega Sadramiot. Where is that evident? How do we know that? You could say a poet is interested in cake making or astronomy, but you need to back that up with something. Also interesting to us, you can make the connection that Pádraig MacSivna was separated at the time he wrote this poem, or interesting to note that he was preparing to be a priest and writing this poem about divorce, which famously the church didn't like super much. So it's all interesting to note and relevant to us. Just like for Gavin, we're talking about Kathleen Maud being in the first production of On Trial. All of this is relevant to our coursework and shows that you have invested your time in learning about these things. Obviously not a necessity in attaining good marks for this question, but is nice and will set your answer apart, and that's what we want. So, looking on into our focal scar. No, be Cook. I cannot emphasize enough that there is no need to stress yourself out and write and write and write reams of paper on your poetry questions. There's absolutely no need. Níl go. Be concise. Write what you need to and leave it be. You only have so many marks available to you. If you write too much and then you run out of time somewhere else, you're missing out on marks in other areas of the paper. So be careful. Torum parsanta. It's always good to add it in, but especially when it is asked for specifically in the question. And be careful to tackle it when it is specifically requested. And in the Tegel, if you were doing Sail Agus Sihir in Illa, and to be fair, if you are studying a poet on Course Cuilga, you are learning off their Sail Agus Sihir also, because that is going to come up if you get asked the question, unless you are being asked about Unspalpin Fánach. Otherwise it's going to come up, so you'd be as well off to learn off titles of works that they have written also. Like, even 2 or 3 would be perfect. Just to have them there to show that you've done the work and that you know about this person's Sail Agus Sihir. Now, if you want to see an annotated PDF of this answer, it is available to you on the StudyClick site. Until next time.